Hi everyone, I'm Wendy, and today I have a special What I Eat in a Day video for you. I recently recorded another one of my visits to my family's farm, so you'll see what we ate and some of the projects we worked on. I also started a playlist of these farm-related videos, so if you like them, you can check that out. Without further ado, let's get into it. On farm travel days, I start by making a green smoothie for my mom and myself. We use different kinds of leafy greens along with frozen bananas and mangoes. Along with that, I also have my usual blueberry oatmeal. Then after breakfast, my mom, dad, and I head to the farm. My mom is super awesome. She preps all of our food ahead of time so we don't have to do much food prep while we're at the farm. That way we can focus on getting some other work done. So we pretty much have all our meals laid out here. We've been looking for some better containers to use, but in the meantime, we've been using these really old deli meat containers that we've had forever. As they start to crack and break, we've slowly been trying to replace a lot of our plastic containers with glass. And we've been trying to find some silicone ones lately, but for now, these plastic ones work really well for prepping salads ahead. So for lunch, my mom and I are splitting a bag of frozen broccoli, and then I also pulled out our salads. My mom and I each have a slightly larger salad than my dad, but all of our salads are made with greens, onions, peppers, tomatoes, and cucumbers, and my mom and I also add chickpeas. Then I'm adding some pickled peppers and hemp seeds on top. Along with that, my mom and I also have potatoes, and that day I decided to put a little bit of hot sauce on my potatoes and broccoli. In my other farm videos, I mentioned how my dad eats the same lunch every day, and this day was no different. He eats a little wrap filled with beans, quinoa, and veggies, along with potatoes, his salad, and some orange slices. After that, I also had a homemade granola bar. I have a video where I show how to make a basic granola bar, and this is a new flavor that I was working on for a future video that should be coming up soon. So if you like to get that recipe as soon as it comes out, you can subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I post a new video. After lunch, I went out to look around. As I've mentioned before, our farm is currently growing corn and soy, but we really want to transition to something organic and regenerative in the future. We're also exploring other options like rewilding some of the land, but we're still mostly just in our researching phase, so we're definitely still open to other ideas if anyone has them. Feel free to share suggestions and resources in the comments below. Next, I went to check on our tree, which we planted back in March of this year. And it's grown almost 10 inches already. Plus, we built this new snazzy fence around it. When we first planted the tree, we didn't have all the right materials, so we made do with what we had. But on a previous trip, we created a bit sturdier structure to protect it from animals. Then on this trip, we also worked on painting our well cover, which had gotten quite rusty. On a previous trip, we used a spray primer and rust inhibitor, and this time we painted. My mom and I went really hardcore with the painting gear because the paint we were using has bits of metal in it, and the guys at the paint store strongly recommended protecting our clothes and skin. We also decided to wear masks just because I'm sensitive to smells and this paint was pretty strong. But even with all our protective measures, we still somehow managed to get a little bit of the paint on our skin. But we got it done and the well cover looks so shiny and new now. It was so hot that day, and I think we were on the verge of heat exhaustion. So after that, we came inside for a snack of watermelon. After resting up for just a bit, my mom went out to work on repairing a section of fence, and I stayed in with my dad. My dad had a stroke a couple years ago, and although his health is doing really well, he was left with some physical deficits. So sometimes he needs just a little help. And we still do various physical therapy exercises every day, so we did that while my mom worked outside. And then a little later that afternoon, I went out and gave our tree a couple buckets of water. In my first farm video where we planted the tree, I showed you the tree watering mat that we decided to try. Since we don't live at the farm, we weren't going to be able to water the tree daily. We weren't sure about it at first, but this thing sure did work. It's meant to continuously water for up to 30 days and supposedly only needs 1 inch of rain to fill it back up. We're at the farm every week, so we never tested it for a full 30 days, but there were many weeks where we didn't have to add any water at all, so we're very pleased with the purchase. On this trip, we did have to water because we hadn't had any rain in over a month. After that, the last project we had on the list for that day was a little more painting. We painted a second coat on this door to the garage. The first coat had been done on a previous trip. And then we had another door on a shed that needed to be painted. First, we used some more of that rust inhibitor that we had used on the well cover, and then after that was dry, I painted the door. Finally, we also put a second coat of paint on this old bench. I painted the first coat in one of my other farm videos, and now I think all of our painting is finally done for a while. After that long day, we were ready for dinner, and we had a little more watermelon, another salad, and leftovers from our first attempt at a whole food plant-based stir fry. We've been trying to come up with a really good SOS-free stir fry, but we usually end up adding something like coconut aminos. This one was totally salt-free except for the little cubes of tofu which were marinated in coconut aminos. My mom came up with that recipe and it was really good. The way she cut the tofu made it remind me so much of the pork fried rice that I used to get all the time. But I think I like this version even better because since it's oil-free, I don't feel gross and sluggish after eating it. If we perfect this recipe, I'll definitely share it in the future. And the last thing we did before relaxing that evening was to blend up our smoothies for breakfast the next morning. We made chocolate, cauliflower, mango, and banana smoothies. Sometimes we like to blend these the night before because they hold up pretty well in the fridge and it makes the morning prep go that much faster. And that was our quick farm trip. If you enjoy these kind of videos, let me know in the comments and give the video a like. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.